Hi, I'm Katie Spain, reporting to you for MSN Entertainment. We've got Kano up here on a London rooftop. We're going to talk to him a little bit about his new single Hustler, out on the 29th of September, and also his new album 140 Grime St. Come on, let's have a chat to him, see what he's got to say. Kano, thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you up here on the London rooftop at Gibson. Set the scene for me, first of all. How are you feeling this morning? Were you out last night, or are you...
This morning? No, I wasn't out last night, but I was up last night. I was in the studio last night.
Okay.
Working on some new tracks. I was in Fulham with Fraser, just working on some ideas. Went home, EastEnders repeat, food, write some lyrics, bed.
Late night, so you're knackered. What's your first musical memory, if you think way back into the memory vault?
I remember being in Jamaica with my family, in the place we were staying. Like me and my cousins, we used to go out and we used to make songs. Yeah, it was like beat on the table and just start, I don't know, rapping or singing or whatever anyone wanted to do. And that was one of the earliest times I can remember, like us putting a song together.
Yeah.
And like then the chorus will come back in and, you know, little signs.
So it was always there in your life. And I know you were really into football, or footy as we call it in Australia.
Yeah.
But you chose a musical path. What are your footy skills like these days?
I try and keep fit. I used to play Sunday football up until about a year ago, but no, I don't really do that
Your
anymore.
cousins play as well, don't they?
Yeah, they play professionally,
Yeah.
properly, and
Yeah.
I just try a thing every now and then.
Do you take them on? Do you challenge them, or is it all kind of...
Yeah.
I was going to ask you how you kept fit, actually, but you've answered it.
Yeah.
Let's talk music. You're known as the UK's best example of a rapper. And from what I've seen, and from what people are saying on all the forums and all that type of thing, and in the media, your tone, flow and content, they say, is always flawless. Have you worked bloody hard to get to that point? Or is it kind of something you've always been able to do?
I've always been able to put words together, but and make it make sense, like one line to the next. But the flow and then incorporating the content is always something I've worked on, to tell the truth. I mean, it's easy. Like you get to a stage where it becomes easy to just write 16 bars and it's nothing. So then you got to really work on how you're going to make this flow different to the last one or different to anyone else that's out there. And I mean, really be innovative. And then like lyrically, that's another challenge. What you're going to speak about that is, you know, is maybe relevant to what's going on at the moment, or what is going to, you know, what somebody else is going to relate to. So that's the challenge. You've
been quoted recently as saying that you're going back to your grimier roots now, and that's what you want to do. The title of the album certainly lends itself to that.
Yeah.
So how exactly are you kind of doing that? I know people need to listen to the album and they'll probably know, but for anyone who hasn't yet.
It's called 140 Grime St. It's basically a concept that I came up with to make an album like where every track is at 140 BPM. If people don't know what that is, that's the speed of a song. It's beats per minute. So every song's like that same speed. And Grime St, and grime is really, you know, the place I came from, the community of artists and producers, and really the sound and now the genre. And the street is just really, you know, where I came up and who the music appeals to. So that's why I called the album that.
You've got some gigs coming up to promote the new album. Can people expect anything a little bit special? I know you're bringing in some of the collaborators.
For the show I got planned for the 30th of September. I think this is going to be hopefully my best show that I've ever done. You know, production-wise, and just the whole size of it, and the guests that I'm bringing on. I think it's really going to be a moment, you know, in the scene. Then I go on tour. Straight after that show, I go on tour from the 1st of October onwards.
And that's from Brighton all the way. It's all over the UK, isn't it?
It's all over the UK, but then I take a break. I do a week in Africa with Damon Albarn, and we can do some shows out there. Then I come back, do some more in the UK. Then I go to Europe in the next month, do some shows. So it's quite a lot of shows.
Do you think Hustler is going to smash it for 6?
Not really. The idea I had with this album was, the attitude I've got with this album is, don't really care. You know, I'm not really playing towards the charts. Like with the single, I'm gonna release it on digital and vinyl for them you know, how we used to for DJs that wanted to go in the shop and buy it and get the instrumental spin. That's what it's really about for me. You know, I've put the album on a tape, and I know that people don't play tapes anymore, but
Old school.
I wanted to just go there with it. So it's not really, everything ain't chart eligible, and I'm not really playing for the charts, but when hopefully the album does cool and the right people get to hear it and they grow to love it. But it's really about the experience. So I would say pick up the album, and like don't judge it on like my previous work or my last chart entry. And
have you always known that music was going to be your path, or I know you were into football and stuff. Have there ever been any doubts along the way where you thought, hey, is this really?
I think there was doubts up until I was 18 and I was about to sign a record deal.
Yeah.
Until that point, it was just something that I was interested in, something I was good at. Yeah. It was just a hobby. I used to play table tennis. I used to play football. I used to do design graphics, and music was just one of those things. Yeah. I never knew that, that was going to be my career, and that's what I was going to be doing now. It just happened like that, I suppose.
Could have been a pro table tennis player, like on Forrest Gump. Wow. Now, we caught up with Craig David. It was earlier this year, just leading up to Valentine's Day, and I asked him what his best and worst qualities are, and he said that his best quality is that he's a good listener, and that his worst quality is that he talks too much. Is that true?
He talks a lot. He does talk a lot. Yeah, he's definitely the life and soul of the party. Great.
I would imagine so, actually. Yeah, he certainly doesn't hold back on the words. Now let's talk Mobos. You were nominated for 4 back in 2005 and won Best Newcomer. Yeah. Now you're an old hand at this now. You're a pro, basically. So who's your pick of the bunch of the new spring chickens that are coming up?
I think Wiley should do well. With a single Rolex, he should do well. That will turn up. But he probably will win.
They can mail it to him. Express post. He'll put it with all these others.
Yes, hopefully he does well.
Okay. And what other artists out there at the moment, either just existing ones that have been around for a while or
that
any
are
that
about
are coming
to
up?
come? Ghetto, he's been around like for a little while. We used to do like us spitting on the pirate radio and all the raves. Yeah. And like he's really been like the one to watch in the underground for a long time now, and I think it's really his time to step forward now. He's making some good music. Got a song called Sing For Me. He's got a remix for it, like a electro dance version, and yeah, I really think he's gonna come through.
One to watch. Now, you were announced as one of London's heroes by Mr. Ken Livingstone. Who's your hero?
Who's my hero? I've really got a famous one.
Doesn't have to be famous.
Probably my mum. Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, you're a good guy.
Yeah, sweet. She brought me and my brother up by herself, so I always looked up to her and respected that.
Power woman. We're doing a bit of a feature at work on artists with tattoos. Yeah. Do you have a tat?
Nah, no tattoos.
If you were to get one, what would you get?
I don't know. I'm not really into the tattoo thing, or people get like Kano, and when you're 68, Kano is a nickname.
What would you think if a fan did it though? Would you be quietly impressed if a fan got a massive?
I've seen it. Someone's got Home Sweet Home on their leg.
Oh my God.
Big. I couldn't believe it. It's just.
It's adoration.
I didn't want to tell him. I thought that was stupid, but it was too late.
Well, he's gonna know now.
It was past that.
He's gonna change it now. He's gonna turn it into I don't know.
Well, yeah.
And I ask this of everyone I speak to, every artist I speak to. What's the most memorable concert you've been to as an audience member?
It was a Jay-Z at Royal Albert Hall, when I supported him on that, and but then afterwards he watched the show. But I had already done like 5 dates, but when he come to the Royal Albert Hall, it was a different one. He had like a 30-piece orchestra and brought Nas out and Beyonce, and it was just like, he's just someone you watch perform and you just think, every time you think that you've mastered it, you're good. And then you see him and you think, I got a little while.
Someone put you in your place.
Yeah, I got a little while to go. So
hold your horses, honey.
That was always one I would remember. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for that.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it, and good luck with the release.
Thank
Hope
you.
you get some sleep though over the next month.